So we've got our HTML for our footer, but at the moment it's not quite beautiful yet. So we want to do the CSS for our footer. So the first thing I need to do is I need to make the footer CSS file. And then I want to open it up with Visual Studio Code. And if we take a look at our footer HTML, in the footer, I've got a paragraph, I've got an anchor tag, which is the hyperlink, and I've got a series of images. And the images already have some styling, and the anchor tag also has some styling as well. So we want to take that styling from the inline style on the elements and move it to our footer CSS file. At the moment, this styling is duplicated, like it's there 3 times. We want to just have it once. So let's make that happen. So I'm going to have a footer, identify the footer element. I'm going to give it a white background. And I know the values of the padding I'm going to use because I played with this earlier. So these go clockwise. So I'm starting at the top, clockwise at the top, 10 pixels, right is 0, the bottom is 4 pixels, and the left is 0. Remembering with 0, we don't need to specify a unit of measurement because 0 is universal. Now, I also want to have my text in the center. So I'm going to have text align center. And I'm going to make my footer 100% of the width of the body. Now I want to style the anchor tag that's inside the footer. So to do that, I can start with specifying we're going to be looking in the footer. And now we're looking for the anchor tag inside the footer. I'm going to make the text color black. And I'm going to remove that styling that was inline. And I'm going to put that styling in my style sheet. I'm going to give my anchor tag some padding. And for that, I'm going to go with 8 pixels, top right, bottom left. And I only need to specify one value because one value, if we specify one value, then it's applied to all 4 sides. Finally, my hyperlink or my anchor tag, I don't want the hyperlink to be underlined. So I'm going to say text decoration, none. Now, when my users or visitors to my site hover over my hyperlink or tab to it with the tab key, I want to invert the colors. So I'm going to say footer a colon hover. And I'd make my color, my background color, black. And my text color, white. Same with the focus with the tab key. I'll invert the colors. But when I focus with the tab key, it also puts a little rectangle around the link, which I don't want. And to get rid of that rectangle, I'm going to say outline none. Finally, I want to style the images that are inside the footer. So I can identify them and say, look, we're looking in the footer. And then we're after images that are inside the footer. And I can go and grab that styling from one of the images. And I want height 22 pixels. I want the margin left at 3 pixels. And finally, I want the text to be aligned at the bottom. So that's the CSS done. And finally, what I want to do is I want to remove that styling from the elements and just tidy up the HTML a bit. And I'll save that and we'll have a look how it's looking. And that's looking pretty good. But on a mobile device, it's a bit cluttered. So I can add a line break. And we'll have another look at how it's looking now. And if we compare that to the Creative Commons website, the Creative Commons website also has a copyright symbol after the title of the work. Now, when we're using a copyright symbol, we don't just copy and paste the copyright symbol in. We use what's known as a character entity or a HTML entity, of which there are a variety of. And if we want the copyright symbol, we use this little HTML entity, which is ampersand copy semicolon. So back in my code, after Peru, I can do a space and paste that HTML entity in, save my work. And now I've got that copyright symbol in there as well. So that's looking pretty much just how I want it to look now. And if we hover over that link, the colors are inverted and there's a bit of padding around the link as well. And it's quite, it's quite noticeable that it's a hyperlink when you hover the mouse over.